Well, hey there, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Island Church Weekly Podcast. I am joined, as always, by Pastor Will McRaney. Pastor, how you doing today?
It's a good morning, Matt. How about yourself?
Doing well,
Chasing
doing well.
children?
Coming off a nice, relaxing weekend, so always a good thing. Excited to be with you guys on the island on Sunday to get to preach. So, yeah, good week of preparation for that, and just excited for what the weekend has.
Well, I told the people that we are going to be out this coming week, and they said, "Well, who's preaching for you?" That type of thing. And so I told them you, and they said, "Oh, that's the guy on the podcast." So you're the podcast guy.
Yeah, it'll be a good time.
So they'll actually see
Absolutely.
you on it. You really do exist beyond
Yeah.
just on their screen.
Beyond
So,
just floating in
and
head.
you've met some
Yeah,
of our
just
people.
beyond floating in. Absolutely. So excited to be there with them. Well, how was Sunday at Island Church? Speaking of Sundays.
Well, it was another good day. We gathered up at 9:30. Those that want to come a little bit early and just had some good conversation with people. We had
Yeah.
quite a number of guests again. That's a good thing. But we're not going to be the church for every single person every time, and every person is not going to be ready to take the next step in
Yeah.
terms of church life. But it's a good sign when people are engaged with us and they give us positive feedback. And so it was a good Sunday. And then we had at the 9:30 we gathered, and then 10 o'clock service. And this past week, if you didn't hear that message, I encourage you to take a listen to it. I talked about when you settle ownership, you settle things, or you settle lots of stuff. When you decide who you belong to, then it just makes a lot of other decisions much more easy. It doesn't make life easy, but it makes decisions in life a little bit easier when you say, I belong to Christ. My identification is with Him. If I get our identification from all other kinds of places, I'm going to do a series on this. As you know, we're talking about, Matt, on the authentic you. But if you get your identity
Yeah.
from your work, or you get it from your family, you get it from your success, you get it from your status, then you'll keep making decisions consistent with that. And so if you settle who you belong to, then
Okay.
that sells a lot of stuff. Again, that makes life easy. But I thought it was a good message for our people, and it should be something they can live with as we think in terms of an idea as we live out our lives and recognize we belong to Christ. So that was this past week. So we had those. It was another good Sunday.
Yeah. Well, and for folks who are wondering, you can always go back and watch those on YouTube. That's one of the reasons we always say, hey, like, subscribe to the channel, because it's a great way to stay up to date on all those most recent messages of kind of, hey, here's what you may have missed if you're out, or maybe you're traveling, or just something, life happened, right? It's a great way to stay caught up with how the kind of weekly sermon rhythm is happening. And so I would encourage you to go check that out on YouTube under the sermon section. Pastor Will, what's coming up in the life of church that folks should know about?
Well, Sandy and I will be taking a little time away, and we'll certainly miss our people, but so glad you're going to be there, as we've mentioned. So that's this coming week, and so it'll be the 9:30 meetup. 9:30 gathering, 10 o'clock service, and so that's going on this week. We've got then on the July 3rd, we get July 4th. Hope everybody has a good 4th and safe 4th. That's a little bit away, but Sandy and I will be out ourselves, and so there'll be no meetup on that Wednesday night on July the 3rd. But we have an upcoming baptism service, and we're in the final stages of making that preparation. But it looks like that's going to be July the 10th. But that could change, dealing with one of the families on that. So if you haven't been baptized, if you've not gone through baptism by immersion, since you trusted Christ, we'd encourage you to just contact me. Just reach out to me, and let's set up something. Let's just have a conversation. And I'd love to talk to you about what that actually means, and answer questions, and talk to you about why we do what we do. And particularly, we think it has biblical roots. It does have biblical roots and background. And so if that's a question you have, just reach out to me. We'd love to have that conversation with you. But that'll be upcoming. So you're going to be up this week. And then no July the 3rd meetup. And we've got baptism coming up a little bit later than that.
Awesome. Yeah, baptism is one of those critical next steps that is just so important for the life of a believer. Another next step that we're really big on here at Island Church is membership. Belonging to a church, saying, hey, this is who I belong to. These are my people. This is where God's rooted me and planted me to do ministry for this season. And so one of the things that we've built, that Pastor Will, you spent a ton of time kind of writing up and then also filming along with me, is our really membership video series that anyone in the church can go and watch as kind of the precursor to some conversations about membership and kind of becoming officially part of the life of Island Church. So if you have not watched them, I would encourage you to go over go to the next step section of the Island Church website, and then
Mm.
you'll find there a link to follow and sign up to watch all of the kind of video courses on membership at Island Church. I believe there's 5 or 6 of them in there that kind of
Mhm.
walk through a lot of the foundational elements of what it means to be part of Island Church, what makes us unique, what makes us, maybe different than other churches, and what do we believe it is that a healthy church member looks like, and why do we do membership. So if you haven't watched those, go sign up on the website, check it out under the Next Steps tab of the Island Church website. Or I believe there are QR codes now. They're going to be in the bulletin each week where you can scan that. Makes it really easy, goes straight to that video course.
Mm.
So you can find out a little bit more about diving deep into the life of Island Church.
That's right. Well, that's a good thing for people to do, Matt, to look at themselves, and also if they have
Yeah.
guests or friends and things. What's this church
Yeah.
about? Who are these people? What are they
Yeah.
doing? And every church is unique and different, and we want to be the Church of Christ, a church of following Christ, and not the literal Church of Christ. But we're going to try to communicate who we are and do that in a winsome way, and we believe we've done that. And then another thing that people can
Yeah.
be praying about, Matt, thinking about that and thinking about what's
Yeah.
upcoming is this past Sunday had a great administrative team meeting after the worship service. That was really, really good. And certainly appreciate Chris Riley's leadership, and we also appreciated some of Judy's
Yeah.
sandwiches this week.
Love it.
And so Judy helped us provide a little lunch for us for the people that we met. But the good news is that coming out of that meeting, several different good things. But one of the main things is that the administrative team approved the building plans. And so we're moving
Awesome.
forward with our new building. I've communicated with our architect last night. I'll send him a note, and then we're going to talk again today. And so we're moving to the next phase where we can move towards the structural things and the wiring and the everything that's involved, the engineering that's involved,
Yep.
and the roof, and then ultimately we'll end up with some renderings for people to take a look at that. But
Yeah.
I don't know if you've made a pledge towards that. If you have, I encourage you to continue to follow through on that particular pledge. If you've not, if you don't know really what we're talking about and how to be involved, we'd love to have that conversation with you.
Awesome. Yeah, great next steps there. And something that everyone can be praying about this week. Pastor Will, anything else you'd have folks be praying about this week?
Well, I just certainly Sandy and I are going to be away and enjoying our time, and we hope that everyone is safe as it moves towards the 4th coming up next week. But this particular week, we just want to continue to see people come and engage with us, and in particular our guests as they come, and we want to do a good job following up with them. And we want to be a place where we're going to not be a church for everyone, but we want to be a place where help people grow in their faith. We're not just gathering. We're not just trying to make ourselves feel good. We're actually trying to advance the gospel, and we're trying to help people grow and develop. And sometimes that's what people are looking for, and sometimes that's not what they're looking for. But just we want to continue to welcome. I'm so pleased with our church family in terms of how they greet new people. It's really is a good thing.
Awesome. Well, Pastor Will, thank you so much for taking the time today to share your heart, share what God's doing at Island Church. And thank you all for watching at home. We'll see you back here next week.